Wrong button. Okay. Mirroring is on. Here we go. Now we're live. Everything's working. Happy days. It's Monday. Everybody's happy about Mondays, right? Best day of the week? No? Okay. Listen, it doesn't have to be the best day of the week. It just has to be another day. And we're happy to be here back in the office. Had a great weekend. What did I do? Did I do anything crazy? I used my laser cutter. I haven't used my laser cutter in a while. I did something that I'd been asked to do and said I would do over a month ago, and it took me a while to get the laser out of the box, or not out of the box, but turned on and doing stuff. But I did do it, and it was really cool, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the face of my colleague who gets it, because it's pretty nice. All right. So what are we talking about? We are, who am I? Why am I talking to anybody? My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service, and here I am live on the internet answering your traffic and police questions. If you've got questions, throw them into the Q&A, because that's the only way I'm going to see them. If you put them in the chat, you're probably going to get an answer from a moderator. Now, the moderator are magical people who volunteer their time. They are not police officers. They are not paid. They are here helping us keep it classy. They want to make sure that it's a safe space where we can get your questions answered and hang out for an hour, because we are here for an hour. That's what we're going to be doing, and it's all about you. Yes. Now, for the folks that are coming in from YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, you will see a QR code on your screen. If you have a moment, you can scan it, take a picture of it, screen grab it, and deal with it later. But that is a quick survey. We'd love to get your input as to what you think of what we're doing here. If you think there's room for us to make improvements, we want to hear from you. So please go ahead and do that when you have a moment. It takes 2 minutes. It's a really simple, very basic question. Okay. Just want to start off by seeing who's here. What's up? We got Leafs fan 35. Good morning. They're coming in from Twitch. Oh, speaking of Twitch, I have to open up my Twitch dashboard. Yes, I do. Because if I don't, I'll be sorry. I don't want to have to apologize to myself. Okay. Stand by. Let's do this real quick. I said I wouldn't do this. I said I wouldn't ignore you, but I'm ignoring you. Okay, Twitch TV. Can't type today. There we go. Okay. I'm not even connected to the internet. Still thinking about it. Still navigating. All right. We'll get to it when it gets to it. We'll make it work. So, Big Jeff Fresh, good morning, coming in from YouTube. I want to see what's going on here. Let's see who is here. We've got Judicall, good morning. We've got Will, good morning. These are moderators so far. Blooms, let's see. Blooms, can I read this? Why can't I read this? Bloom's Panda Salon? Hi, good morning. How you doing? Moderator Emma is in here with a good morning. Okay. Oh, we've got Fan Cargo. Hey, how's it going? How many DUIs over the weekend? I haven't seen the update yet. So we have TPS. Is it TPS Traffic DC is his username. He is a detective constable in our office, or at least downstairs in the detective office, and he is the guy. He is the guy who does the update. He does all the pulling of everything. So I will put up a post with his information as soon as I get it. But it may come up while we're live, and I'll share it with you if you stick around, assuming I get it. He may be in the afternoon. Don't even know. XXK Gig says they drive with no license. Well, that's not very smart. Okay. Do you need to do? Okay. It's starting to pick up. 437 people in the room, many of whom may not know who I am. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service here in Ontario, Canada. It is cold outside. I had my hood up when I went for a walk to get coffee, because that was important. Needed to happen. But it was cold. Really? I need a hat. Well, actually, I have a hat. I need to carry my hat so I can use my hat when it's cold outside. What am I looking for? I'm looking for another telephone.
To not cover Buddy?
But I want to know, what did I do with it? I have 3 phones, 2 of which I know are present because I'm looking at them and they're on. Oh, there it is. iPad was on phone. Okay. Stand by. We're off to a rocky start. I just need to get something punched in here because my laptop is not connected to the connection. There we go. It's not. There we go. Okay. Just typing in a password that I can never remember because it's not one of those things that I've created. That's it. Let's see if that worked. Did I punch it in right? Hey, we have a winner. All right. If you have questions for me, Would love to answer them. We got an hour to do it. We'll try to get to everybody, but if you have questions that are related to traffic and policing, drop them in the Q&A. That's the way to make sure I get to see it. If you don't, it's going to be simply in the, whatchamacallit, it's going to be in the chat. And I'm not the person answering chat for the most part. That is going to be our magical moderators, who are, again, volunteers, not folks who are being paid to be here. Now, I see exhaust laws. Another thing, please don't spam. If you ask it once, don't ask it again. We will get to you. But if you spam the chat, apologies in advance. You will be muted or removed, just because we can't have that. What is this? Toronto Police in the banner and backdrop. Thanks. I guess people want to know who I am and where I am. Toronto Police Traffic Services. We are the centralized traffic unit for the City of Toronto. We are the people who investigate collisions. We are the people who focus on the Highway Traffic Act. Those deal with the laws surrounding around things that move. We deal with cars, trucks. We have a commercial vehicle section. We major collisions that involve death. We do the collisions there as well.
Leo wife.
Leo wife, good morning to my family coming in from Twitch. Appreciate it. Always need Twitch viewers, even if they're related to me. Are electric bikes illegal? First question of the day coming out of our Q&A section on TikTok. 9Indy9. 999? I don't know how to read it. I'm trying to figure out, decode it. It might be easier than I'm making it. But anyway, electric bikes. If you mean e-bikes, electric bikes are legal in Ontario, but they have to conform to the rules. And the rules say that you cannot be able to exceed 32 kilometers an hour. They have to be limited. They can't have more than a 500-watt motor. They have to be in good working condition. They have to have pedals, all that jazz. The operator has to be over 16 years or older. They have to wear a helmet. If you meet those requirements, it's an electric bicycle. It's an e-bike. However, if you modify it to go faster, put a bigger motor in, those make it instantly not an e-bike. They become motor vehicles. They require license, ownership, and insurance, and bad things happen. And I see them on the road. We have a problem where people are modifying things, making them illegal, and then I'm assuming they're shocked and amazed when they get tickets for it. I got a new mug. I'm excited about my new mug. I'll show you my new mug in a second. Okay. When do our license need to be renewed? February 28th, 2022, which is not that far away, is the expiry of the extension. So if your license expired or your license plate expired, anytime after March 1st, 2020, or not after, if it's anytime during March 2020, it was covered under an extension. That extension's over as of the 28th of February, and ticketing will start the following day. Sorry, did I say? Yeah, February 28th is the last day of the extension, so March 1st, 2022 will be the first day of enforcement, so make sure you renew it before then. Okay. Now, if you have a learner's permit, G1, G2, M1, M2, those are good until the December 31st, 2022, so you still have time to move to the next level. Okay, regarding speed trap cameras, can I fight them in court at all? I didn't drive the car. Will it show in my abstract? Okay, so you're the registered owner of a vehicle. Your vehicle tripped a speed camera. They have evidence. You can certainly go there and say that you weren't driving, but it doesn't matter if you were driving or not. The fact is, your vehicle was there, and they have evidence of your vehicle being there. If it wasn't your vehicle, and you can prove that, that's certainly a defense. But if you lent the car to somebody else, then your vehicle was there, and you're responsible by way of being the owner of the vehicle. It won't go against your driver's abstracts. It doesn't go against your driver's license. It is a vehicle registration. It goes against the vehicle registration, not you as the driver, or not as you as the owner. Now, other jurisdictions do it differently. So my brother was traveling in Australia. He rented a car. He went over the speed limit. He got a ticket in the mail, which included points mailed to him. So that's pretty wild. Leave it to my brother to test the Australian system for penalizing drivers. Okay, let's go to another question on TikTok. Oh, by the way, if you have a moment and you don't mind tapping the screen feverishly, showing likes to the channel. Well, this thing's readjusting all the time. Showing likes to the channel is very helpful for us. It tells TikTok and Instagram, tells the greater community that there's something going on here that people should be paying attention to. So if you got a moment, don't mind double tapping, and your thumbs are available, or your fingers, whatever you're touching the screen with, tap away, because it'll tell the algorithm good things are happening. I'm going to show you also, since I'm asking many things of you, I'll get this out of the way, at least for this 10-minute segment. This code, if you screen capture it, how do I make this so it fits nicely? This code, if you screen capture it, will allow you to go to a what's it called? A Survey Monkey. It's a link to a Survey Monkey survey. And what will happen is they'll ask you to do a very quick survey, and we'd really appreciate it if you did that. We've got about 100 people who have responded so far, and it just allows us to track generalities. Where are you from? Are you from Toronto? Are you from elsewhere in the world? Are you getting benefit here? Would you like to change it? Would you like to do something? What can we do to make it better for you? That's what this is all about. Because we are here for you. This isn't about me. I'm just a guy talking and answering your questions. And by the way, a lot of people in the room. 1.3 thousand of you, and I want to let you know who I am. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service, and I answer your traffic and police questions. Now, our stuff is focused on Ontario law, but we can answer questions sometimes about other stuff. So let us know what you'd like to know, and we will chat about it. If you're in the chat room and you're discussing things with our moderators or other users, please be kind. They are volunteers, and of course, there are other people just like you who just want to be here because got questions that need answering, or if in the case of the moderator, know a lot of the answers to the questions. If you're spamming, if you are harassing anybody, you will be asked to leave. You will be muted, and that's what happens. They try and keep it classy. But let's get on to some questions. Are LED lights in your car illegal? And the example is under dash. So no, you can have accent lights in your vehicle, whether they're incandescent or they're LED, doesn't matter. You don't want something that causes your eyes to dilate, that affects your night vision. That's not a good thing, but it's not illegal in Ontario, nor is you can actually have your interior light on in Ontario. It's not against the law. Is it a good idea? Not necessarily, but it's a deal. People want to know. And we put up a video about this early or last year. I can say last year now. And many folks were shocked. They said, my parents lied to me. My God. Well, my parents raised me believing that the interior lights were not to be turned on when driving. But what can I say? Okay. Ever thought about working on the SWAT team? Thought about it. I saw lots of movies about it. I've spoken to people who work in SWAT. I have some friends that are part of. It's not SWAT. SWAT is the Special Weapons and Tactics team for the. Sorry.
TikTok lag.
TikTok lag. It just dropped. Gone. Are we still live? We're still live on the other platforms.
Yes, you are.
Okay. We are going to. Oops. We're going to try and take off of. We're going to have we're going to try going. It might be a TikTok. It might be a TikTok specific issue. Bummer. No, we have no video.
Did you disconnect from Wi-Fi to try for
I
data?
disconnected the Wi-Fi to try and get it to work, but we're not getting any love here. Trying to go back to Wi-Fi. Oh goodness, don't know what's going on. Don't want to disrupt the whole show, but if maybe we can throw up a chat because the chat's still working. It's just a video stream that's dropped. Maybe we can invite people to come into our other channels. I don't know what's going on. We occasionally have problems with TikTok, and we don't know how to fix it. It says here, lost connection, switching to Wi-Fi. No fun. Okay. Yes, the joys of internet streaming. Sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, it seems like we're back. Okay. Whatever the case is, we seem to be back. Hopefully this continues. Folks, sorry for the issue. Don't know what's going on. So the question was about SWAT, and the answer is... I don't think I'd ever be a SWAT person. Not because it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's just that I am now broken. When I was younger, I thought it was a really cool idea. So Special Weapons and Tactics is the LAPD's team. SWAT may be a terminology used by others, but it's an NYPD term. Hang on one second. I got to stop that. Maybe I can make it better by. Yeah, I turned off. No.
Why you do that?
Well, I thought it was connecting to Wi-Fi. It's not. It's connecting by LTE, and it was making horrible noises. So I tried to fix it, and I broke it. Oh well.
I can't facepalm any harder.
Switching data to Wi-Fi. Okay. We're yeah. See, I broke it again, but we might be back. We'll see what happens. No idea why things work or don't work here. Yeah, we just roll with it. We just roll with it. So yeah, so we have something called the Emergency Task Force, and I know TikTok. I'm talking about a TikTok question, and TikTok can't see. Okay, we'll give it 30 seconds. I really did a job on it. Maybe I switch back. We're going to try switching back. Sorry, folks. Let's go over and see what's going on our other channels. Well, this may or may not sort itself out. We've got Mike Quinn. Morning. Good morning. How you doing? Linda from Facebook says, I'd like to know when grocery workers will be helped if you know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with grocery workers. Lordo says, good morning. Good morning to you. Okay. We may or may not be coming back here. Things seem to be maybe possibly, nope, still not happening. I'm tempted to jump out of live and try and jump back in. I don't know how to fix this now that I've really done some damage. It's not working. Is there no button that says, like, reboot? No? Possibly, maybe? Q, any ideas?
Turn off Wi-Fi?
I turn off Wi-Fi? I did.
Currently?
I turned off Wi-Fi. Okay, let's go to a question here from Kyle. Oh, okay. Do you guys have a different vehicle drive home, not a police vehicle? Yeah, we are not issued police vehicles to take home. There are people who are, because they have special units and responsibilities, and they have access to vehicles because they're on special assignment. However, it's trying to switch back. Let's see. It's going to try again. This is not looking good. But anyway, so they have vehicles, but officers and general patrol officers don't generally take their vehicles home. Only special units, and that's not everybody. Sometimes there's different reasons where it would be possible. Do we try and just reboot the thing? Do I kick out? I don't want to kick everybody out of the live to try and get everybody back, but maybe that's the right way to do it. What do you think?
Can you still access the Q&A on your end?
I can.
Okay, I'm just going to throw up YouTube. Sorry, not throw up, but I'm going to put up YouTube on there for now.
Okay. Did that update when I put the question in the Q&A up?
Get of my neck.
Okay, so you see it. So
really, Sean? That's the one you randomly picked?
That's the one I randomly checked. I thought it was I didn't want to ruin one. It's trying to switch between data and Wi-Fi again. So this seems to be an app problem at this time. Still can't seem to get a connection. What does it show you when you search a plate? I'm looking for your message, but I don't see your message, so I can put it up. I have to give credit to the folks that are on there right now. 551 people who are looking at a frozen screen, hoping it'll come back. I'm tempted very quickly to reboot the phone, try and bring it back. But you know what? If the mods, I'm hoping the mods will do it, is put people over to YouTube. That's
I already posted it.
It's posted?
And I liked it. Yeah.
Okay. Was it the Q? Oh, here we go. I put it up. It's on screen, and yeah. Okay, I see it going there. Cool. We'll have more people flooding in shortly to our YouTube. And thanks for the patience, everybody. And 21 people on Instagram coming in, too, so there's a bunch of people who've moved over. This isn't normal. TikTok is usually the way to go, and today it's not having it. Okay. And it's also maybe I don't know. I'm not going to try and... We're going to go back to questions. What is the actual fine for no front plate? So there's a requirement under the HTA to display two plates, to display a pair. So the offense is, and I can give you the exact wording because I can. TSV, I can't answer that question right now. Okay. Not that there are people trying to call me to say, hey, it's not working. I'm sure that's what they're calling me for. Okay. Let's go into it. I will get you the exact wording and fine. It's $110, but it's Highway Traffic Act. Let's go into plates, permits and plates.
Oh, it popped in audio.
Hey, it's back. The live is back. It's green light, and it's on LTE. So whatever happened to make it work, everyone's collective concentration on LTE. I have no idea. I didn't touch anything. I've been looking up a code on. Someone wants to know what's the fine and what is the offense for failing to display a front plate. So let's do that. I'm still looking for it. Fail to. There's so many different charges. I could just do a search, but I was trying to scroll through. Okay, display. Okay, driver motor vehicle failed to display 2 plates, $110, no points. No person shall drive a motor vehicle on a highway unless, and it goes through a whole bunch of stuff, but that's the official charge. Okay, an actual HTA offense. I'm on TikTok and Instagram. Awesome. Okay.
Can you remove my face off of TikTok QA now?
Yeah, I think we can handle that. Okay. How loud is too loud exhaust-wise? So there's 2 different standards. There's one standard, and then the other one is somewhat subjective. So when it comes to getting your vehicle safetied, there's a requirement to have your muffler and your muffler and your resonator and your exhaust system, your muffler and so on. So that's a requirement there, and you can be charged for not having that if you're on the road. Additionally, there's something called unnecessary noise. So you have to have, you can't be disrupting the peace. Now, it doesn't matter if it's stereo, horn, exhaust. If you're making too much noise and you're observed and stopped by an officer for that reason, you might get the ticket for your muffler and the noise. You might get a ticket for just the noise, depending on the situation. All depends. You also can't squeal your tires because that's another, causing noise. Noise everywhere, noise.
Are my tax dollars paying for you to answer questions on TikTok?
Yes, your tax dollars are. Well, it's a community thing where everyone's tax dollars are going to it. Absolutely, and rightfully so. It's the best money that we can spend getting to the most amount of people possible. We had 25,000 people in a live last week. Amazing. We are getting to more people and answering more questions than ever before in the history of Toronto Police. Anyway, it's fantastic, and we're really enjoying it. So to answer your question, yes, I'm a paid member of the Toronto Police Service, and this is part of what I do. I'm a media relations officer for traffic services, and whether it be posting, reminding people to look left and right before they cross the street, or not to drink and drive, this particular segment is where we answer your questions. We're actually helping directly answer questions from our viewers. So we love the opportunity to interact. It's been very difficult since the beginning of COVID, where we can't go to those community events and shows where we'd have a bunch of officers who'd hang out for days. We'd go to a show for an entire week sometimes and answer questions. But instead of talking to 5 people at a time or 1 an hour, we talk to thousands of people all day long. Not all day long. We do an hour live, but all day long in terms of our content's everywhere. And we're answering questions in the chat, and in the comments. So it's really very effective. And I'm sure we'll see more of this. It's definitely not something that is going away.
So people seem to be very interested in your pay. So tax dollars going towards this, you get commission off of the tickets that you give with the quota that you're getting, the pension from the government, and also the what was the one? Paid by TikTok influencing.
Well, we don't get paid by TikTok. And we've had people who have tried to send us money in the beginning when we first started, and we've disabled the ability to leave us tips or give us diamonds or whatever it's called. So that doesn't happen. I am paid. I am a member of the service, and no different than if you called me on the telephone and answered your questions. That's what we do. We answer questions. This is actually something that is very interesting. I don't go on the road. I'm not an enforcement officer. What I'm doing here is just connecting to you in a different way, and not only connecting on TikTok. I'm on Instagram Live right now. I'm also simulcasting on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. So that's the thing. But enough of addressing this. We all know that I get paid for a living because that's what I do as a police officer, and we all know that this is a good thing, or people wouldn't be here. So if you've got questions, please feel free to ask in the Q&A, and please don't be disruptive or spammy, because you will get muted. It's just trying to keep it calm. But I want to keep it moving. I don't want to spend too much time on any one particular topic. Okay. So we have, here's a good one from, is it Malcolm? Yes, it is Malcolm Robinson Photography. Are colored fog lights a big concern other than amber and white light that is illegal to have what is this? You can't project any light other than amber or white. Is it a big concern? It's not something we have a tactical team waiting at the ready to find anyone who has purple fog lights, but it is something you can be charged for because it's against the law. Now, if it's blue, if it's red, there's additional charges. You can't, those, or green for that matter, you cannot use those. Are restricted colors. There's specific charges. But the fact is, the only one that's permitted, yellow, amber, same difference, and in white. Not suggested to do anything else because you could wind up getting charged. Here's a good question. Is it illegal to drive fast in school zones even if there isn't school? Yes. Well, first of all, drive fast means breaking the law on its own. Doesn't matter whether the school. If the sign says 40, it's 40. If it says 60, it's 60. School zones are generally 30 or 40. If you're breaking the law, it doesn't matter whether school's in session. You've gone beyond the posted speed limit. If I get here's a good question from TikTok. If I get a traffic warning, does it go on my record? It doesn't go on your Ministry of Transportation record. It goes into our files so we can see it again. So if we pull you over and you've already received a warning, we're going to see it. We're going to not give you another warning. That was my spiel. Here's a warning. Just let you know you get one, and we'll see when we stop you again. And next time it'll be a ticket. Now, I didn't give a lot of warnings, but it depends on the charge. Everybody had an opportunity for a warning. Generally speaking. Sometimes they were verbal, sometimes they were printed, but warnings are good. Some people just need a little wake up. It doesn't, and if we go to the next stage where wake up didn't work, here's a ticket and explain it to a judge. Okay.
Is TPS hiring?
TPS is hiring. If you're interested in becoming a Toronto police officer or a police officer anywhere, you should definitely be applying because it's a fantastic profession and we need good people who want to do the job. So why don't you check out www.torontopolice.on.ca/careers, where all the information you need to know on how to apply is posted. You can also get information on how to talk to or how to contact a recruiting officer who have way more information about recruiting than I do. It's been a while since I've joined. I've been with the service for over 20 years, and things are different than when I joined originally and recently. So I joined as an auxiliary officer and a court officer, and then later transferred from courts to policing. So even though policing is only 10 years ago, it is still different than when I got on, I imagine, I assume. Talk to recruiting. They have all the answers. Okay, let's see here. Why change law, no stunt driving on private property? Great question. A lot of people want to talk about stunt driving laws because it's frustrating that people can't do what they want on their own property, right? Well, here's the deal. You can thank the TO takeover kind of crews, the people who were creating events on private property and on public property. The government decided that action had to be taken to stop that kind of behavior. Now, I point the finger at TO takeover type crews. That's a specific group of people, and I probably shouldn't point my finger at them. It may not have been them in particular, but a pattern of behavior that was best displayed on videos that were posted to pages like that. There were other people as well, obviously, but the goal is to stop dangerous behavior, not just because private or public doesn't really matter. Fact is, on private property, we could always charge criminally under dangerous driving because the behavior exhibited was in fact dangerous. People standing very close to motor vehicles as they were spinning around and doing donuts and drifting. That behavior is dangerous, and they could have been charged criminally, but instead, there's now a law that allows us to charge under the Highway Traffic Act, which is actually a lesser offense. That's the why. You can also Google Project Takeover, and that has lots of information about the criminal investigation that took place. Okay. Can an officer... Oh, here, that's a great question, too. Can an officer driving towards me ticket me for speeding? Yes. We have moving radar in our vehicle. It calculates our speed, your speed, does the math, tells us the difference so that we can accurately and easily determine the speed of a moving vehicle that's approaching us or driving away from us in a motor vehicle that's equipped with a moving radar. Now, we also have laser devices that will get you coming towards us or going away from us, but we're stationary when that happens. So it depends on the device used, but yes, we can absolutely measure your speed. We got... C. Page jumped in from Insta. I saw you when you came in. How's it going? Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, your opinion on using hazard lights during a snow squall. I'm not a big fan of hazard lights being on when people are driving. I think regular lighting is sufficient. I think when the snow is falling or the rain is falling, people see you regardless if your full headlight system is on. I think that the appropriate use of your hazard lights is when you are stopped or disabled in a conspicuous place, whether it be in a lane or you're at the side of the road, not moving. I think people don't understand what they're intended for. If it's raining, I'm going to see the rain. It's not going to make it significantly better to see your vehicle. Can you get a ticket for rolling coal? Yes, you can. Dumping exorbitant amounts of diesel or burning it off and creating big smokestacks, not permitted. Tickets definitely eligible for that. Not supposed to mess around with your exhaust system regardless. Okay. What did I say? Q, I don't know what your last message is. Can an off-duty police officer pull you over? It's not something that we normally do. We are police officers 24/7 until the day we quit or retire, but the deal is that we would generally not pull you over if we're off-duty. Now, if we're in an unmarked vehicle, but we are police officers in police cars on duty, we might. It depends. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently I may have misstated your. Anyway, I'm not dwelling on this. I may have oopsie dude when I said something. But anyway, C-Page, what's going on? Okay. Off-duty police. So off-duty, yeah, generally not doing it, and then, I know who they are. But the mouth may not have connected to the brain. I don't want to dwell on these things. Okay. Can you get more than one warning? You can. It's not something you should count on, but it can happen. Okay. Can EMS go through school buses' red lights? Nobody can go through school buses' red lights. Police, fire, or ambulance need to stop for those. There is no exclusion for the HT. In the HT, it says they can go through. If you stop and once the once the kids are safe, the school bus driver should close the lights and the stop sign, allowing us to go through. Hopefully that can be done quickly, but the priority, as much as we have to get to where we're going, the priority is the safety of children who may believe it's safe to cross because those lights are active, and a emergency services driver who is trying to get somewhere may not notice them, and that would be a tragedy. So we do not go. We're not supposed to go, and don't have the authority to go. Okay. Is there a reduced speed in front of retirement homes? If the sign says it's reduced, it's reduced. If there's no sign present, by virtue of having a retirement home in there does not make it a lowered speed. It has to be based on the government posting an appropriate sign.
Andy's coming.
Andy's coming.
Can you get a speeding ticket driving with the flow of traffic?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. If you are speeding, you are speeding. It is not a defense for speeding. You cannot exceed the speed limit regardless of what everybody else is doing. It's no gang or what's it called? Not gang mentality. Mob mentality doesn't work here. So you cannot exceed the speed limit and use it as an excuse for speeding. And now, does it mean you're going to get pulled over? Herd mentality, mob, herd, yeah, all these things. It's not a defense. So only one of you may get pulled over because we generally pull people over one at a time, but it doesn't mean you have a defense. Well, everybody else was going. There's so many stories from my childhood where, well, if, someone would say, well, if your friends were jumping off the CN Tower, would you go too? Yeah, no defense. The concept of going with the flow of traffic suggests merging onto the highway, that you have to get up to the speed of the flow. But that doesn't mean breaking the law. That's like saying if somebody gets in the way of a bank robber, they should they're doing the wrong thing because they're going slower or they're preventing people from doing what they want. So anyway, yes, you can get ticketed. I go down that rabbit hole because it's a real issue for me. People are going way too fast on our highways. Is it true cops can give us 24 hours to show a license? So about 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, that was somewhat common. Paper tickets were written, and the officer might say, if you show me your driver's license within 24 hours, they'll pull a ticket. The truth is you've already committed the offense by not having it. We can check in a computer system whether you are issued one. So there's no reason for us to give you 24 hours. And showing it to us doesn't mean anything because you've already committed the offense when you didn't show it to us at the side of the road. So it didn't really make any sense then. It certainly doesn't make any sense now. If you don't surrender your license upon demand, you will be charged for that. Now, if the officer says they won't charge you, that's up to them, discretion at the side of the road, but no 24 hours. You could take it to court, you might show it to them, and they might drop it, but it doesn't even make sense because you've committed the offense by not providing it at the time. Okay.
How How long does a verbal warning stay on a police record, and how long does a written warning stay on the police record?
A verbal warning goes off the record as soon as it leaves the officer's lips because it's not recorded anywhere. It's verbal. A written warning goes into our system and will likely stay there forever, or at least until the however long our is it 25 years until things are purged. A written warning will stay for a period of time, and I don't know the period of time. It could be a long time though. Okay. And but a ticket, when you get charged, a ticket continues in the system until it is completed. Well, it may reside in the system as something we've generated, but the actual charge will stay on the system for. The conviction will stay for 3 years after conviction. The points will stay on from 2 years from the date of the offense after conviction. It won't be applied until you've been convicted. Okay. By the way, I got a new mug. And I like it. I'm biased. I designed it. Okay. I'm using the mug even though I have a bottle of water. It's fancy. I'm being fancy today. Is driving in Canada similar to the U.S.? Yes, similar. Most places driving, the big stuff, follow the rules of the road. These safety principles are pretty much the same everywhere in the world. I say pretty much. Definitely in the United States and Canada. And we honor licenses from there and from most major places now around the world. If you're a licensed driver, you can drive. Now, there are differences with mechanical requirements. There are differences from the perspective of how much tint is legal, how loud, or do you require a muffler? Things like that might be different. And it's state to state, province by province. But when you're traveling from one state to another, or province to another, or country to another, generally speaking, it's very similar, and as long as you have insurance, you can travel in the country. I don't know of any reason why they turn you away, except for insurance. If you don't have insurance, they will not let you drive in the country. At least they're not supposed to let you. They can even cross the border. Okay. Just want to say thank you for your service, sir. First of all, you don't need to serve me, but thank you very much. Appreciate the sentiment. Much appreciated. Dory, who am I? Why am I here? What is going on here? Why are you seeing my face on your screen? My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service here on TikTok, but I'm not just on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram Live. I'm also on, where else are we? We're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn Live, YouTube. We're everywhere. And let's see. I also want to show you this great thing because if I don't remember to do it now, I'm not going to remember to do it at all. I have a QR code that I want to show you. And right now, why am I seeing things that aren't what I want to show you? Okay, hang on. What's going on here? QR code, come back to me. I want to show you the QR code. There it is. This QR code, if you screen grab it and scan it later, you can do a quick survey. It's 2 minutes, and it will allow you to, did I just say, it'll give you a survey that'll allow you 2 minutes to help us out. What does it do? What does it mean? What do we need it for? Well, we'd like to be able to make sure that we are providing you with the very best in content and quality. So if you've got questions, if you've got suggestions, if you've got anything that you want to know, that's the place to go. It allows you to give us your 2 cents. Okay. What information shows when you search your plate? Well, at very basics, it shows who the registered owner is, if the plates are valid, and it depends if there's other information to be provided, but it's a link to anything associated with your plate. From there, we can search the registered owner and do deeper searches to find out who owns it, what other vehicles you have. There's lots of information. Anything that's stored with the MTO is going to be something we have access to. Okay. Is it illegal to ride my bike on the sidewalk? That depends on where you live, because every municipality has different rules. In Toronto, it's illegal to ride on the sidewalk if you are 14 years or older. You have to be 13 or younger to ride on the sidewalk. That's a city thing. Now, when I was a kid, it was based on diameter of tire, but the problem was people bought small tired bicycles and rode on the sidewalk to circumvent that. It wasn't intended for that reason or for that purpose. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go on to another one. I saw a hi from Ireland, so hello to Ireland. My cousin lives in Ireland. Let's see here. What is this? What do I say to a cop that's mad because my work? I don't know what your work is, so we'll move on. But no one should be mad about anything. It's you do what you got to do. If someone's shooting at you, can you speed away? So technically speaking, being shot at isn't a reason to speed. Oddly enough, there's nothing that says you can speed because you're being shot at. Hopefully, that isn't the case. All of the driving that would come from that would be obviously dangerous, and anything you did could be something you'd be charged for, even arrested for, if you were driving erratically while running from someone with a gun. And I'll give you a good example. If you use self-defense, if you use a weapon in self-defense, you're still going to get arrested. It doesn't give you an excuse. You can't just beat someone to death because, or grab a rock and bludgeon them because you feel threatened. So self-defense isn't a plain Jane reason to do something or to break any laws. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. Okay. What's going on here on Instagram? What's going over there? Hey, Pepe, what's going on? How's my diet going? It's going really well. I'm down a bunch of weight, and I put a video up on that on my VoiceoverCop channel. So if you want to get an update on my no carb eating ways, check out VoiceoverCop on TikTok. I've got a video on that very topic, giving the update, and I try and post an update every day. Okay. Do you think that they'll be raising the limits on 400 series highways? They're testing it out in Niagara Falls. It might be a thing. Until it is a thing, it isn't a thing. So we'll see what happens in that regard. City streets are, when it comes to in the city, we're lowering speed limits everywhere because slower is safer, despite what some people choose to believe. Okay. I got my M1 2020 September 30th. Can I still use it? Yes. M1s, M2s are valid until December 31st, 2022. So you're still in a good position. And someone trying to get into the motorcycling community, well, you're in it because you got your M1, but it's very difficult because all the courses that one would normally take to get your M2 got booked up. So, you can still drive. And the nice thing about M1s is you can just, even if it was expired, you could just reapply and take a new one. That's the thing. Okay. T intersection, one stop sign, both turning left right of way. A T intersection with one stop sign? Who has this? So there's no stop signs. Only one person has a stop sign. I don't know of any T intersections that have one stop sign, unless you're talking about main flow of traffic and it's not. I see what you're saying. It's a throughway. Well, the throughway has the right of way. The people don't have to let you in. The stop sign has to wait until it's safe to do so. I think that's what you're getting at. I have to decode. So yeah. And Sergeant Kulik, whose microphone will be turned on now. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hello, friends.
Happy Monday.
It is Monday indeed. I don't know if it's happy, but okay, every day's happy.
You missed all our technical difficulties earlier when TikTok wasn't working and kicked us offline, and we were frozen for everyone for like 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
You came in just in time.
Well, you're here with a smiling face, and that's all that matters.
Well, hopefully it was frozen while I was smiling. I probably had one of those dumb looks on I was making some weird face. What are the rules for engine swaps? I don't know what the rules for engine swaps are offhand. Ultimately, the one thing I can tell you is that you need to tell your insurance company that you have changed your hardware, because if you don't, because if you have a larger displacement engine and you haven't disclosed that, it may change where you fall in their stats as to risk categories and whatnot. If you don't tell them, they may choose to decline your insurance once if you have, or your claim in the event of a collision. Let's see here. Okay, in Ontario, do you still need 2 license plates? In Ontario, yes, you do. You have to have a front and a rear, and they have to be mounted in the appropriate place according to the regulation. So that means that you have to have it in the front in a conspicuous place that's not obstructed in any way. Now, you can have it in a tow hook mount. I have no issue with that. I can't see any reason why someone would be charged for that. Front grille by zip tie even, but you can't simply not display it, and you can't put it in your front windshield, which so many people want to do. Okay. Got that. We're going to see here. What's the law regarding... What is this? What's the laws regarding located underneath the vehicle? I don't know what this is. I don't know what the question is, so I can't answer it. Can an officer pull you over in casual attire? If a police officer is working in plainclothes capacity, they can. I don't think there's a rule that says you can't, as long as you're in a police vehicle, you got your appropriate lighting system. But I don't think that's a commonplace. Now, casual attire, maybe you mean a suit and tie. Or like if our detectives want to pull people over, certainly they can if they need to. We're police officers regardless of what we're wearing, and if there's any concern as to the identity, as to whether or not they're actually police officers, you certainly have certain things you can do. You can, let the officer know that first you can stay in your vehicle, you roll down the window as much as you have to communicate this and say, I don't know if you're a police officer, or I have some concerns. I'm going to call 911 to verify, and the 911 operator will have access to your vehicle stop, because when we stop somebody, we say on the air, hey, we're stopping you. So you do have that ability. And people have voiced out concerns like, how do I know it's a real police officer? Well, that's the answer. If you have concerns, ask to see identification. They can show you a badge. If you're not satisfied with that, like I said, you can always call into 911. And I say 911 because it is something that, if you're concerned for your safety, maybe something qualifying as emergency. It's up to how you feel. Okay.
Here's a good question we haven't had in a long time. Are you going to drink?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of vehicles or plates are permitted to use the HOV lane?
Green ones. Now, there's some more detail than that. The simplest answer is green ones. So if you have an electric vehicle, you can use, if you have an electric vehicle that qualifies for a green plate, you can stop somebody. Reading two different questions. If you have a green vehicle that qualifies for a green plate, you can use the HOV alone. That's the answer. If you don't, there are specific requirements. Like you can be an airport limo. Taxis, I believe, have access to that. That's all listed. If you Google HOV Ontario, HOV lanes, it'll give you the breakdown of all vehicles that can use it. But the question generally relates to that of green vehicles. Now, if you have a Tesla, good example of a green vehicle, but you decide you want custom plates, and those vehicle plates are not green, you lose your access to that lane. It is only if you have the green issued plates. Okay.
And I believe some of them stipulate to high occupancy, so if you have 2 or more people in your vehicle,
then you'd still have access.
Then you still have access to
Yes. So yeah, it's usually 2 or more, and motorcycles can use them with solo, regardless of green plates. So signs are a big thing to give you a clue as to what's there. But in terms of if they show a green plate requirement, it must be the green plate, not just being an e-vehicle. Question coming in from Malcolm
count?
again. Oh, did I hear something?
Do mini spawns count?
Who? Mini spawns, as in offspring. Yes, offspring, children do count. Furry children with 4 legs and a tail do not count. So many people ask me if their animals count towards
Human
the HOV
beings.
lane. Yeah,
human beings. And
human beings.
we'll leave it at that.
Human beings, and regardless of their age. So many people thought that it has to be people who are employable, carpooling on the way to an actual job. We don't judge whether they're employed or not. We do, however, if they're human. Okay, radar detector and laser jammers are illegal, correct? Yes, they are illegal. Not only are they illegal, but if we have the belief that you have one in your vehicle, we have the authority to search your vehicle and seize the item. Additionally, there is a fairly good size fine, of which I never remember the actual amount. I think it's $270, and demerit points associated with that. So you lose, A, we can search your vehicle, B, you lose the item, and C, you're charged. None of those things make for a fun day. And at the end of the day, all we want you to do is slow down. We just don't want you to speed. That's it. Okay. Is the Toronto Police Service accepting auxiliary applicants? Well, the auxiliary program isn't active right now in terms of officers being able to come out and be deployed. And based on that, I'm going to assume that they may not be, but I'm assuming. So the best answer is to go to our website, www.torontopolice.on.ca/careers. On there, the posting or lack thereof will be listed. There's a section for auxiliary police, give you all the information. If you want to get further information, by all means, reach out to a recruiter in the talent acquisition unit. I like that. Was pretty complete. I think we're good. Okay. What happened to the cop doing donuts in a parking lot? That's an active investigation. I don't have any updates. I just know that the video was, or I should say the video that was shared on social media is being investigated, and I don't know what the next step is. Let's see here. Let's go to another question. Let's see. Ryan Pinn, ahoy. How you doing? Ryan's a driving instructor in Nova Scotia coming into us from YouTube. Long time no see. Question from Ryan says, am I permitted to call 911 to report a dangerous driver? Great question. Thanks for asking it. Yes, in fact, there's a law that says you can't drive distracted. And for Ontario, distracted driving laws specifically address handheld communication devices and handheld entertainment devices or screens visible. So even if you're not holding it, but someone's showing you their Instagram account on their phone, that's illegal. But there is an exemption specifically for using your GPS. Now, not using it by, going through the menus and choosing where you want to have lunch. That's not permitted. But if you set it before you get going, you can have the screen visible and you can call 911 for an emergency at any time. And a dangerous driver is an emergency because that dangerous driver may result, and their activities may result in a collision. It could be loss of life or serious injury. So obviously it's a priority. And just like the police can use their communications for emergency purposes, that's what we do, that we're the emergency people, you can use it for calling the police, which is a logical thing. Okay, K. Wiggity says, can police smoke weed off duty or do they have to get drug tested? If I'm not mistaken, we have to be 28 days without THC in our system. So we generally basically means we can't, because I don't get 28 days off in a row after I'm off. Even though it's a legal substance to consume, it stays in your system for 28 days and we can't have it in our system.
Unless you took all your holidays together and days off and everything else, then
that is
I
commitment.
suppose it's possible.
That's
but
commitment.
Not likely.
I don't have the ability to string a plan together for what to do on Wednesday. Never mind to want so badly to consume marijuana that I would take multiple weeks of vacation to get. It's just not happening. So yeah, it's legal, but we can't come to work afterwards for a long time. Okay. Here's a good question from Instagram. Is it okay to show valid insurance on your phone instead of paper? Actually, yes. In Ontario, you can have an electronic copy of your insurance. So not a picture of your insurance card, but an electronic version provided by your insurance company. That is now legitimate. Nothing else is available in that way. Like you can't do your driver's license that way. You can't do your ownership that way. It's just not available yet. Can emergency vehicles use HOV? Yes, we can. We can use HOV in toll roads. Emergency vehicles are permitted to go where they got to go. Is using Waze illegal? No, it's not. Now, using Waze, if you're actively using it and typing in it and punching buttons while you're driving, yes, that would be illegal because it's using your handheld communication device. But using the app as a GPS is not illegal, and being notified by their information. So if an alert says, "Hey, police are up ahead," that's not a speed measurement device. That's not a speed radar detector. That's not an enforcement detector. It just somebody sent a message to the system and it's notifying you that up ahead might be police. Could be investigating a collision, could be having lunch, whatever the case may be. Somebody decided to share that with you, and that's not illegal. Hey, Sarge. Sergeant Campbell just dropped by too. So we have Sergeant Campbell, Sergeant Kulik, and me. With all of us. It's the team. And the spam in the chat is high today. So please be kind. We have moderators who are trying to keep it classy. But if you are spamming, repeating the same statements in the chat, you are you're just being disruptive, and you're probably going to be muted or kicked out. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to hang out. And just for those who don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service here in Ontario, Canada. I go live on, social media. It's not just TikTok. It's everywhere. And we answer your traffic and police questions for an hour Monday to Friday. And that hour is coming up soon. So if you don't mind and you want to see us again, follow us. Follow us so that you get notified when we go live next time, because that's a thing. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday. Is the auxiliary program good for just helping out? Okay. The answer to this is it's a fantastic opportunity to see your city through an entirely different way. You want me to plug that in for you? Is it not plugged in? Yes. So the answer is it's brilliant. I started as an auxiliary officer. I knew I wanted to be an officer, but they weren't hiring, so it was a great way for me to get to see what policing was about. Now, it's not the same. We're not going to 911 calls. We're not being put in harm's way as an auxiliary officer. But I got to work the Santa Claus parade, all the parades, in fact, when parades were a thing. I got to help canvass when areas were, dealing with missing persons or crime where we were looking for evidence. I got to assist police officers and do great stuff interacting with the community. So I think it's the absolute best way to volunteer and help out, absolutely. So definitely check out anyone who's interested in becoming an auxiliary officer. It's a uniform position. You wear a police uniform similar to mine, with a lighter shirt, a slightly different variation, so that you can be easily identified as someone who's not carrying a firearm, who's not a police officer. But it is fantastic, and so many good police officers have come out of that program, because I did it for 12 years, and just a fantastic opportunity. Okay.
And even if you don't want to do policing as a career, a lot of professions now want you to have volunteer experience. And if you can give them, on a resume saying you've done hundreds of hours for the community, that's always a good thing too. And
sure.
Giving back to your community is what's important, really.
And you said it perfectly there. It's not a stepping stone. It may just be some way, like a hobby. One of my auxiliary staff sergeant when I started, Tim Mayola, I came to the motor squad, or I came to the to traffic services as an auxiliary officer first. He had been doing it for years, and he's still doing it. So this is his. He worked for Bell. He did work for them, and that was his career. But he went out and had fun being an auxiliary, and it is fun. It is great people, great things to do. And it's very much like the ad that the NYPD puts out saying it's a ticket to the best show on earth. Of course, it's a different seat than if you become a police officer, but it's still a seat. Okay. Gingy wants to say thank you for your service. Oh, we love what we do. Thanks for the thank you. And we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to be. Have you personally ever been down to the States? Yes, I have personally been to the States. In fact, I lived in the States for a number of years. I've done things other than being a police officer before becoming a police officer. So I lived in Florida for a time. It's great. I love the States. And, we're in the same chunk of land other than a little border. What's different? Okay, we have a different flag and, different government. And, okay, there's a couple of differences. Okay, let's see here. What would happen if you got pulled over without insurance? Insurance card or insurance policy? So if you didn't have an insurance card with you, but your vehicle was insured, that's a $65 fine? I think it's $65. It's been a while since I've written that. And that's just not for surrendering your piece of paper. If you don't have insurance, it's a different story. That's going to result in charges related to driving a vehicle no insurance. The fines start at $5,000 and go to $25,000, and that's just the first time you get charged with no insurance. It's a very serious offense under the Compulsory Automobile Insurance. I keep calling it automotive. Compulsory Automobile Insurance Act. You have to have it, and it's quite serious. And that usually means there's more going on, and you may not be a licensed person. So the investigations that tend to involve no insurance tend to be bigger than simply a speeding ticket or a parking ticket or what have you. Lowest speed on highway if speed zone is 100. This is an interesting conversation because there's no specific speed listed. So is it legal to go 90 in a 100 zone? Yeah. Could you go 80 in a 100 zone? Maybe, depends. Could you do 40? No, I would say that's going to be clearly, it depends. It depends on what's going on, what are the conditions, and why. Because there's a charge called unnecessary slow driving. One of those things is that you have to be impeding traffic and that you have to be traveling at a speed that isn't necessary. Well, what's necessary? Is it inclement weather? Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is it icy? Those are reasons to go slower. The speed limit doesn't make you go fast or doesn't make you travel at that speed. It has to be safe to do so as well. So there's a lot goes into whether or not it's legal or not. But there is no lowest speed, at least not written into law. Now, there are places that have it listed. So I think Highway 7 actually says you can't go 50. I think.
Yeah, there are some roadways where minimum is listed. Not many.
No, not in Ontario.
What I've seen, anyways.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Highway 7, but I could be making that up. And other provinces definitely have it posted. So if it's posted, that is a sign that you have to follow. And regardless of that speed being or that law, unnecessary slow driving not being specific, you still have to follow the signs. So if it's a posted minimum, then it's a minimum. And that's further down the rabbit hole I thought I was going to go on that one. What is this? Would you be a police officer without police immunity? I'm not aware of police immunity. I'm pretty sure that we are one of the most scrutinized professions on the planet. If you do something wrong, you're going to have to be held accountable for it. You see it all the time if you follow the news. Okay. Let's see here. How How to identify the nice cops that allow speeding? I don't think there's any nice cops that allow speeding. Some officers, will reduce at the roadside. Some officers will charge at a higher threshold than others. There's no specific, answer as to what is the trigger for each officer's enforcement. At the end of the day, speeding is illegal and it's dangerous, so it's something to think about. Do you get recognized in public? I do get recognized in public. Recently, I've not been doing a lot of being out and about, but I have been recognized quite a bit. It's a little strange because I don't consider myself to be a celebrity, but I've been treated as some occasionally, and it's very nice. If you do see me out in public, feel free to come say hello. Please make yourself known and don't surprise me. Bad things happen when you surprise me. Okay. Does a speeding camera ticket take effects on insurance? So speeding camera tickets are issued to the vehicle owner by way of the vehicle, not to the driver. So it doesn't go on your driver's license record, and that is my understanding what insurance companies base their rates on. So it shouldn't affect your insurance, although it's certainly not something you want to be doing regardless. Anything else on that? As to whether or not there's any long-term effects from repeated, because stats came out. There were some folks that had like 12 tickets from speed cameras. Not a prize you want to be showing off with, but I'm not aware of anything that would affect your insurance. But I would call your insurance company and ask them because they may have different policies. Okay, what's the big problem with modified exhausts? Well, depends what your modified exhaust is. If it's a legal modification, it still muffles the sound. If it still does what it's intended to do, there may be nothing wrong with it. However, if you're creating a great deal of noise, that's a problem because that's not doing what a muffler is intended to do. You have to have one. You can't do a muffler delete. And what's the problem with it? Well, it disrupts and it creates issues for the community. People don't want to listen to you, like not to your muffler anyway. You might think it's cool. You might be the only person who does.
Not only noise, Sean, but emissions and safety, so that carbon monoxide isn't coming in the vehicle.
There you go. So mufflers do more than just muffle sound. Exhaust systems ensure that you don't have smoke coming out of the tailpipe, that your emissions are within standards. So there's also issues under, I imagine, the Environmental Protection Act. That is part of that deals more with catalytic converters, but definitely there's more to it than just noise, and noise has its own charge, not just muffler. So there's a lot going in there. At the end of the day, modifications that are safe and legal are permissible. Okay. Is smoking while driving? Sorry. Okay, here we go. I think you mean is smoking while driving, is it distracted driving? It's a distraction. Anything that takes you away from driving, which is should be your focus, is technically distracting, but it's not doesn't qualify for the distracted driving laws, which are limited to handheld communication device, handheld entertainment device, and screen visible while driving. So, or entertainment screen, or I can't remember the wording exactly, but it's essentially you can't be looking at somebody else's Instagram or movie even if you're not holding the device. Back to smoking. Ontario or Smoke Free Ontario Act says that you cannot be in a motor vehicle with children under the age of 16 and smoke, whether it be tobacco products or inhale any kind of even the fogging stuff. What's that called? The vape machines. You can't have any smoke in the vehicle with children. So otherwise, you could smoke and drive, even though it's somewhat distracting. Can't litter. Don't throw them out the window. I've charged people for. Have you ever charged anybody for littering with a cigarette butt? Yeah, so have I.
Just think about it. If you're on a motorcycle.
Oh, I've been hit with them. I've been hit, and I've seen mattresses on fire.
Yep.
Yeah, mattresses on top of vehicle roofs, smoking because a cigarette butt was thrown into them. Let's see here. What is this? I think. What happens if you got pulled over without a license? You get charged for drive, no license. You're also not covered under an insurance policy if you're unlicensed driving somebody's car. Additionally, the person who lent you the car, because I'm assuming it's not yours if you're unlicensed and it's still insured, if you borrow a car that isn't without a license, you are unlicensed, you borrow a car because they thought you were licensed, you lied to them. well, they're going to get charged to the HTA for permitting you to do it. There is a website, if you Google it, there's an Ontario driver's license check website, allows you to check the status of a license before lending your vehicle to somebody if that was something you wanted to do. Big Jeff Fresh coming in from YouTube says, imagine getting home with your new mattress on fire. Yeah, not a good day. Let's see. I had some comments that I missed here. I like to think of the police. What is this? I like to think of the police warning in Waze as a means to let people know there's a vulnerable person at the side of the road, and to drive safe when passing. That's a great way to look at it. And I don't think I've ever looked at it that way. Usually I assume it's somebody trying to say, hey, slow down or you're going to get a ticket. But you're right. It does double as a way to say, be aware somebody might be working on the road. And it's certainly something that we appreciate, at least when people slow down and move over. Not only is it a requirement of law, we're trying to help people and protect people. So slowing down and moving over, getting that warning is definitely a benefit. Let's see. We've got Sean Chen with Hola. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Sean is actively working as a student and trying to make the roads safer. How's he doing that? Because he's part of the Teens Learn to Drive Zero. What is it? It's the Vision Zero Youth Network. Thank you for what you're doing, Sean. Sean's a good name. Anyway, just saying. Is it illegal to drive with your hazards on? It's not specifically illegal. It is something that confuses drivers. You turn them on. They should be notifying other vehicles that there's something going on. Generally speaking, I think it should be reserved for when you're stopped, pulled over at the side of the road, or disabled in a lane. But many people turn them on for various reasons, and not always good ones. I want to scroll through. Our time is coming to an end. We've got 341 people in the room. If you're in the room and you don't know who I am, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service. If you're watching on YouTube, you see a barcode on your screen. That barcode will take you, or not a barcode, it's not a barcode at all. It is a fuzzy code, a QR code, that's what it's called. And I'm going to show everybody else what that is right here. And if you use this code, can I stay on screen? Oh, what's going on here? Cancel info. There we go. If you scan that, if you screen capture, if you save that, you can later use the QR code to take you to a SurveyMonkey. What's it called? SurveyMonkey survey. Who'd have thunk? And what that will allow you to do is give us some feedback. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us how we can make it better for you. We want to know, because not only are there some basic questions that we would love answers to in terms of where generally you live, not like what's your address, but generally where you live in terms of Ontario, GTA, around the world. We got people everywhere watching us, so it's awesome. It gives us feedback that'll help us make it better for you going forward. But I do want to give I started introducing myself. Did I ever finish introducing myself? Sean Shapiro, Toronto Police Traffic Services. I am a police officer. I answer your traffic and police questions. We generally go live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's past 10 now. If you're not already following us, please do. We'd love to have you following us. It'll also notify you when we go live in the future, which will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., in case you were wondering. Here's a question. How do you get verified blue check on TikTok? Well, if you are a police or government and it's important to verify that you're real, then you can apply for that. Now, if you are not a government official or you're a celebrity, you can also do that. The idea is to verify fakes from real. It's obviously important because we're the police to be able to say that we are the police and not have confusion. So they verify who we are, and that's the deal. What else can I answer here? That was another question about the verified. I think you're the first person to ever ask me about verified. I don't think that's been a thing. Although I did show us, someone asked me, I've seen you before, and I showed them the account, and he says, dude, you're verified. Wow. Somebody, what is this? Bro, your voice is everything? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's my voice. I've had it for my whole life. Mind you, that's not true. Before puberty, this voice was not mine. It came through. Yeah.
So it's not the mic? I thought you sound like Mickey Mouse without the mic.
That's what I usually say. The mic is definitely. This is a Shure SM7B. This is my favorite mic so far. I have a microphone problem. I buy a lot of microphones. This is my own microphone. We have other microphones that we've used in the office, and this is by far my favorite. And we also have MV7s, which is a lesser dual XLR USB version. It sounds nice too. This sounds nicer, just a little bit. Okay. Can I ask you something? I think you just did. And I think we're picking the last question right about now. Why don't you accept gifts online? Fantastic question. It's a great way for us to end the segment. We're the police. We don't accept gifts. It creates all sorts of issues. And we were trying, before we had TikTok actually remove our functionality so we could not receive gifts, we had received a bunch of them. We had to try and figure out how to do it and how to do it properly. So we took that money and made a donation. But beyond that, this is much easier. Government, we shouldn't be taking gifts. That's it. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Check out our channel. Follow us if you aren't already following us. And you can also check us out all over other social media. We are Traffic Services on Twitter. We're Traffic Services Toronto on Instagram. And if you're looking for me, I'm VoiceoverCop. VoiceoverCop on Instagram, Twitter, and, of course, TikTok for my private channel. All right, everyone, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
End. And finally, let's see. Sean Chen saying goodbye. Ryan Pin. Cigarette butts are the single most littered object in the world. They don't biodegrade and are toxic to animals. Yuck. Yeah, that's not a good thing. To everyone who came in, and Tinto Tosi, sorry I didn't get to your stuff. Well, I see that you had a question that sort of, what is this? Is a picture of your driver's license on your cell valid? Not in Ontario. You're in Montreal. Quebec may allow it. Not allowed here. And so you're just saying you're afraid to lose stuff. Yeah, it was planned to have ready for the end of the year in Ontario, and it got delayed. It's coming. There's no question it's coming. It's something that's happening around the world. It makes sense. At very least as a backup, makes sense. But as of right now, no, not allowed. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 9. All the best.